greatest players of all time. We finally have gotten to the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we're 30 teams deep, but the Bills have a very special history dating back to their AFL days in the 1960s, and that's where we're going to get started with a guy from the old Bills. Number 5 on our list, linebacker Mike Stratton. This just in, guys. Buffalo won back-to-back championships in the American Football League just before the Super Bowl era. There were several good players on that team, from Jack Kemp to Butch Bird. But I'm going with the linebacker extraordinaire in Stratton, who made 6 AFL All-Star games while delivering a hit in the 1964 AFL Championship that sent a message who the best team in the league was. Good grief. Next up, number 4, O.J. Simpson. Anytime you mention Simpson's name, the obvious comes up. But the fact is that Simpson was a first ballot Hall of Famer and one of the greatest football players of all time. In fact, at one time, he might have been the best player in pro football. Simpson ran for 2,003 yards in 1973. That's over 140 yards per game. He was the first player in league history to ever accomplish the feat of crossing the 2,000-yard barrier in the first place. After Simpson, the Bills featured some solid running backs. Terry Miller rushed for 1,000 yards in 1978. Joe Cribbs was the man in Chuck Knox's offense for playoff teams in 1980 and 81. But none of them were Thurman Thomas, who came on the scene in 1988 and became an all-time great in 11 years with the Bills.
Thurman Thomas has broken a 31-yard touchdown run, and the Bills have taken the lead.
Sure, people know Thomas was the centerpiece of 4 Super Bowls. But how about the fact he led the NFL in yards from scrimmage every year from 1989 to 1992? And number 2, Jim Kelly. Having Thomas around sure made life easier for my second all-time Bill. Truthfully, Thomas and Kelly could be switched, but there's no argument regarding the importance of Kelly as the quarterback. More so than with most teams, because Kelly called plays from the no-huddle, i.e. the K-gun offense, and was the overall leader of the team on the field. Kelly started 4 straight Super Bowls at quarterback, an NFL record, and was the 1991 league MVP.
Still on his feet, now throws, it's good to Lawson, he runs it for a score.
The best player to ever don a Bills uniform, though, is not Thomas or Kelly or Andre Reed, who merited consideration on this list. It's not Kent Hull, and it's not even Fred Smerlas. It is a defensive lineman, however.
Montana drops back in the pocket, Bruce is after him, and the ball is intercepted after Bruce hit him.
Bruce Smith was a dominant force for the 90s Bills, racking up an astounding 171 sacks in 15 seasons with the team. In fact, Smith is the all-time NFL leader in career sacks, while being a first-ballot Hall of Fame enshrinee in 2009. Smith was an 8-time first-team All-Pro, while being named AP Defensive Player of the Year twice. I'm thinking the Bills Mafia will have no problems with this choice.
The Bud Light Party brings